This is Victoria Potman. So the first set of user stories I worked on was, as a customer, I would like the mobile application to have a user-friendly theme so that the application is easy on the eyes and something I like looking at. The second user story is, as a customer, I would like the mobile application to have a menu bar for switching between pages so that I only have to learn the system itself and not the application's navigation. These are obviously both UI components which are defined by a custom theme in Android. So the way I kind of describe that is you can think of the theme as sort of like this interface that defines how the Android layout components will look. That includes the navigation bar as well. So those inherit styles from the theme, and then any user-defined layout component or any component actually in the app is going to inherit from that Android layout component as well. Next, I worked on push notifications, so there are 3 user stories related to that. As a customer, I would like the mobile application to use push notifications as opposed to an internal notification system so that I know where the notifications will be when I'm alerted. As a customer, I would like to receive a notification that my bus may be delayed due to construction so I can start looking for an earlier bus. And as a customer, I would like to receive a notification that my bus may be delayed due to bad weather so that I can start looking for an earlier bus. So these are all implemented using this deployment diagram as kind of a design. So these are using Firebase, which is a Google service. For apps, it can include a lot of different services like crash analysis and things like that, but we're using the notifications. So basically you create a project on the Firebase server. That project is then linked to the app on the device by these 3 files and the dependencies therein. So basically, anytime I want a push notification, I go to the Firebase console and send the kind of notification that needs to go to all the users. It looks for any Android device connected to the internet with this setup on the app, and then it sends a push notification related to that app, and then the app also acts as a listener for those notifications as well. These all have to do with accessing our API. So as a customer, I would like to receive notifications that I know how far away the closest bus is from my location. As a customer, I would like to receive notifications so that I know what time the bus is expected to be at the stop closest to me. As a customer, I would like to be able to see the map and only receive notifications periodically so that the notifications do not flood my screen where I cannot see the map. So as you can see, we have on our web server set up the database, and then the REST API gets information from the database. The application actually interacts with the REST API itself and then communicates with the Google Maps API in order to put the information it requested on a map for the user. So these things are generally happening in main maps activity. It is getting all of the information and then pulling that from the API, and then in my case, I'm using that to generate an alert dialog letting them know if there is a bus within 20 minutes of them and how far away that bus is. The last user story is, as a user, I would like to be able to click a bus route and see who the driver is and where the bus last stopped so that I can decide if I want to head to the closest bus stop. This is actually using a different activity, but it's the same idea. Basically, when we pull the information for the bus routes, we're pulling that from the API. Those are pulled down into the mobile application, and then we are displaying that information to the user.